Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're breaking down a genuinely monumental announcement, Google's Antigravity 2.0. We are looking at a massive, fundamental shift in software development here. We're moving way beyond AI just acting as a helpful little writing assistant that auto-completes your code. We're stepping into an era where AI operates as a fully autonomous actor. Just imagine having an entire, tireless team of digital engineers living right there on your machine. That's exactly what we're unpacking today.
But to truly understand the scale of this breakthrough, let me ask you, what does it actually take to build an entire operating system from scratch? And I don't mean spinning up a simple web app. I'm talking about the foundational software that hardware runs on. We're talking writing the scheduler, handling memory management, building out the file system. If you're a developer, you know exactly how intimidating that sounds.
Traditionally, doing that from scratch is a notoriously brutal, multi-month process. It requires deep, highly specialized engineering knowledge. But Google just pointed their new agents at this exact challenge, and the results? Well, they built a fully functional operating system in just 12 hours, and it consumed less than $1,000 in API credits using their new Gemini 3.5 Flash model. The agents literally wrote every single line of code completely autonomously. So here is our agenda to reverse engineer this thing. First, we'll go inside the agent harness. Second, we'll look at building an OS from scratch. Third, the agent-first desktop app. And finally, integrating this with your workflow. All right, section 1, inside the agent harness. Let's peek under the hood at the invisible framework that's actually powering these real-world tasks. The magic here isn't just a smarter chatbot, it's a total structural redesign of how AI approaches work. At the very core of this leap are what Google calls subagents. Now, these aren't just background processes. They're specialized autonomous AI actors that use new core primitives like hooks to perform really complex teamwork and problem solving. Think of it like managing a massive team of junior and senior developers who can instantly communicate and divide up the labor. And their asynchronous task management is wild. It basically acts like a hyper-efficient digital assembly line. The anti-gravity harness takes a huge challenge, breaks it down into a cohesive plan, and then generates those subagents in parallel to tackle different pieces of the puzzle simultaneously. They execute asynchronously, and crucially, this is the crazy part, they generate, audit, and iterate over their very own tests without any human intervention. Obviously, pulling this off requires some serious compute. Agent decoding is an absolute token monster. It just eats through data as agents constantly read, write, and rewrite code. So to handle that load, the Gemini 3.5 Flash model was optimized for extreme speed. Normally, it's about 4 times faster than baselines, but inside Antigravity, it was co-optimized to run a staggering 12 times faster. That sheer speed is what actually makes real-time, multi-agent teamwork possible.
Moving on to section 2. Building an OS from scratch in just 12 hours. Now that we understand the engine, let's look at the ultimate test of these mechanics. The main takeaway here is the sheer scale required for an autonomous team to pull off an OS build. Over those 12 hours, the system deployed 93 subagents working in perfect parallel. They fired off over 15,000 model requests and processed an unbelievable 2.6 billion tokens. Google actually noted this magnitude of a run simply wasn't possible on their older Gemini 3.1 Pro model. It literally required the unprecedented speed and cost efficiency of 3.5 Flash to happen. Now, building an OS is one thing, but proving it actually works is another, right? To test the OS live in a terminal window, the team did something pretty fun. They installed a classic Linux utility called SL, which is, a super common typo for the ls list command. And when they ran it, it playfully drove this anti-gravity branded ASCII locomotive right across the screen. Just a perfect, simple validation that the core system was alive and kicking. But look, as any true engineer knows, an operating system isn't really an operating system until it passes the ultimate test. We have to ask the age-old question, can it run Doom? Well, initially, the answer was actually no. The OS built by the AI was missing the necessary video and keyboard drivers to handle a game like Doom. But instead of human engineers stepping in to bail it out and manually code the drivers, they just pasted a prepared prompt right into anti-gravity. And right there in real time, the agents economously researched the problem, formulated a solution, and wrote over 100 lines of complex driver code on the fly. After a quick compile, Doom was up and running perfectly. No way, right?
Okay, let's jump into section 3, the Agent First desktop app, Antigravity 2.0. Let's explore the standalone tool they use to actually facilitate all this magic. Unlike your traditional coding setups, this layout is unapologetically agent first. It cleanly organizes your conversations and projects in one view, while natively generating artifacts, stuff like code, data plots, and even Nano Banana Pro infographics, right alongside them. You're collaborating, you're not just typing. It's a workspace designed from the ground up specifically for managing AI teammates. And by optimizing for this multi-agent orchestration, the setup is fundamentally changing the timeline of software development. It's not just the OS, either. Google tasked these exact same agents to build a photo editing suite, a real-time messaging app, and even a multi-user collaboration platform. The results were exactly the same across the board. What used to be strenuous, multi-day engineering efforts are just collapsing into hours, or sometimes even just minutes. Finally, section 4, integrating with your workflow. Let's see how you can expand your own tools today by tapping into this immense agentic power. So beyond just the desktop app, Antigravity seamlessly builds straight into your daily tech stack. They've launched a full CLI experience and an Antigravity SDK, so you can build these agent capabilities natively into your own tools. Plus, it features native voice support powered by Gemini Audio. Think about that. You can literally just talk through architectural problems out loud with your agents. It also comes with deep, out-of-the-box integrations with major platforms like Android, Firebase, and Google AI Studio. Ultimately, we are looking at a platform that has lowered the barriers to development so completely that really anyone can be a builder. I mean, Google's own CEO, Sundar Pichai, even used Antigravity to autonomously track down and fix a bug in the live Google codebase. This changes the entire equation of what a single person or a small team can accomplish. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. What will you build now that weeks of complex, brutal engineering work can be executed by your digital team in just minutes? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.